Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. My name is KiraForex. In today's lesson, we'll be learning how to avoid fake breakout. You know, the most painful thing that could ever happen to anybody in this market is when your stop loss is triggered. So assuming you are waiting for market to break a particular level, waiting for a retest or a continuation in either a downtrend or an uptrend, then all of a sudden price reverses to pick up your stop loss. So assuming you are waiting for this zone to break, or you are waiting for this zone to break for you to continue buying from this point, because you can see we are in a downtrend around this area. So you are waiting for either this zone or this zone to break with a candle body like this for you to continue buying, or you are waiting for a pullback for you to continue buying, or at this point you are waiting for a candle break like this and a pullback for you to continue buying, and eventually this did not happen, and the only thing you could see is that price breaks out this way or breaks out from this point and eventually comes back to pick your stop loss, because when you do this, definitely your stop loss will be below this area and your take profit to be ahead. So your stop loss will definitely be around this area with a few pips. That is what is definitely going to happen, and then eventually price comes back to hit your stop loss. That's the most painful thing to ever happen to a trader in this market. So in today's lesson, that is what we are going to look at. Relax and follow me as we learn something new. I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, we have price moving in a downtrend. You can see that price is moving in a downtrend here. You can see what is happening here, and this will now be our low, which is serving as our support. The lowest the sellers has reached, which is our support, and this is our high, the highest. Now what is going to happen here is that buyers will be targeting a lot of points around this area. I think I have to zoom in for us to see it bigger. Let's see the bigger picture of this. And we already know that we are in a downtrend. Okay, so this is the bigger picture of what we are trying to do. So what is going to happen here is that buyers will start targeting points around this area. So their first point will be around here. This is the first point of buyers, so that they can continue buying, and this will also be their second point. So once they break out from this point, we know that there is what we call a change of character. So we are moving from a downtrend to an uptrend. At this point, you can see that market is still in a downtrend. So once price breaks this first point and this second point, then we now know that we are shifting from a sell to a buy. Now when you look at this particular chart, you see that we have two zones here. Okay, but I want us to concentrate on this main zone because of what I am seeing around this area, because this place can be a source of supply zone, okay, where price can reverse, but immediately we have a breakout with what we are looking for to confirm our breakout, then we can continue buying from here. So if we are not going to consider this one, then price gets there and breakout, then it means that on a lower time frame we can take a short buy up to this end, but we have to be very careful with this end, because price can get here and then the sell would continue. The same thing can also happen here. Price can also get here and continue selling, because don't forget we are still in a downtrend. So what I will do is that we are going to concentrate on the major zone, which is this one. So immediately price breaks this zone, then we finally know that we are moving from a downtrend to what? To an uptrend. So let me delete this one so that we concentrate on the major zone, which is this one. The reason why I'm saying that is we have a lot of formations here. Even if you see this, you realize that we have something like this, like a W pattern. We have a double bottom with a W pattern. Price is also on a psychological level. You know, there's a lot of things happening around this area. We also have a supply zone, imbalance, breakout structure. There's a whole lot of things happening around this area. That is why I said that let's concentrate on the, let me zoom in for you to see. Let's concentrate on the breakout of this major zone to confirm that we are moving from a downtrend to an uptrend. I hope it's making sense. Okay, so usually what we always expect is that price breaks out from here. You know, price comes up and breaks out at this point. Immediately price breaks out like this. What do most of us do? We wait for a retest and then we continue buying. But you'll be surprised that price will break out like this and then eventually it will not happen like that. Then a long position to here. Once price breaks out, our stop loss will be here, our take profit going to the nearest support or resistance, and eventually that will not happen. You see price coming back to pick away your money. The most painful thing to ever happen to traders in this market. So this is what we are going to really look at. We are going to look at how price is supposed to break out, how the candle is supposed to form to tell us that yes, this is a genuine breakout of this zone, and then we can continue buying whatever currency or assets we are trying to buy. Okay, so let's look at that. This is a secret I'll be teaching you, so please take it serious. Okay, so the first thing we are going to look at is how the candle breaks the zone. Now, if I have this as my candle that has broken the zone, what you have to look out for is that you make sure the candle that has broken this zone has broken with a huge body like this. Okay, so it should be more than half of the zone. If it is closing above, then it should be more than half of the zone. So if you see here, you realize that from this point to this point is more than this point to this point. You know, this is our zone. So if we measure from here, to here, you can see that from here to this side, you can see that from here to here is more than from this side to this side. Okay, so when this happens, then it means that our breakout is confirmed. So the next thing we can wait for is a pullback, then we take our entry, or sometime there will not be any pullback because of how the candle has broken with a momentum. So there will not be any pullback again, and price will continue buying immediately from this point, because the break of this point and the closure of the candle is very big. The momentum is huge, and more than from the down here to where the zone is. So this is one of the secrets to how to know if this is a fake breakout or this is not a fake breakout. Now let's look at the second point. So the second point is, if price breaks out with a small body like this, okay, assuming the move started from here and then it breaks out with a small body like this, do not enter immediately, because this has broken out with a small body. What do you have to wait for? You have to wait and make sure that the second candle that is formed has closed above this one. So what you do is you take this rectangular box and measure that particular candle that was formed. that broke out the point, you measure, and then you wait for the next candle that will be formed to break out of that particular rectangle. So the next candle that will be formed, if it breaks out of that particular rectangle, then you should know that this breakout is valid. 90% of the time it's valid. So what do you have to wait for? A pullback, and then you take an entry, and you should make sure that the candle that has broken out of this rectangular bars is a green candle to confirm that the buyers are still taking over. Okay, if it is a red candle, then you should know that anything can happen. Price can still reverse, because this is not a strong breakout. Even though it has closed above the point we are looking at, it might not be a strong breakout. So you have to wait for the next candle that is formed to be green and close above this box. So if you have to draw this box and wait patiently for price to break it. Wait for a retest, or you continue buying immediately from this point. You can also consider this. You know, when I was saying it, I said that you should make sure the candle body that has closed is more than the one below. So what you can also do is that if this candle's body has closed above and is almost half, like what is left behind, so this should be our half. You can see when we share this one into two, you see that this should almost be a half. You see, very good. So if it has closed above and is half, like the body that is left behind before the break of this point, you can also consider that will tell us that, okay, now the buyers are in action, so we can now take a buy. So we have 3 points here. The first one is when the body closed, the breakout closed with or closed more than the candle that is left behind after the breakout. And the second one is when it closes with a small body. What do? You go in for your rectangle, draw a box around it like this, draw a rectangle around it like this, and then you wait for the next candle to form. And when the next candle forms, you make sure that that next candle has closed above the rectangle. This is very simple and easy to understand. So you make sure the next candle that has formed is above the rectangle. So all these ones will tell you that the breakout is not fake, but usually this happens 90% of the time. So when this happens, you can wait for a pullback with your stop loss below the zone a few pips, and then you'll take profit to the nearest support or resistance. So this is how it's going to happen. So once it happens like that, then, but if you are taking it from this second candle, then it means that your stop loss can come a little bit up, because your take profit, your entry will be somewhere around this area. Okay, so this is what is going to happen if you want to avoid a fake breakout. Let's look at an example of what we just talked about. So when you look at this pair, this is USD card. You can see that price is moving in a downtrend. Like I said, I always look for major zones, because someone can also, there are other people who see this and say that there's already a break of there's already a change of character around this area. And yeah, that's true, though it's obvious that price will continue going up, but I always look at the major zone. So we have our low here, where price has gotten to, which is our resistance point around this area, and then this is our high, the highest point price has gotten to. Okay, so sorry. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to look for our major zone, and our major zone around this area is this point. This is our major zone at this point. Okay, so what will I be waiting for? I'll be waiting for a break of this zone. Now look at what happened. You can see that we had a break out of this zone, and whatever I said earlier, I said that when it breaks out and the closure of the candle where price closed is what is more than where the beginning is, where the beginning of that candle is in that zone, or from the starting of the beginning of that candle, the one that has broken out is more than or is half of where it started from, then you should know that that zone will hold. So when we measure from here, this is the closure of the candle, okay? So when we measure from here to here, and we also measure from here to this point, you see that the body that has broken the zone is more than the body left behind. Let me zoom in for you to see something. Okay, so you can see that the body that has broken the zone, this is the zone here, the body that has broken the zone is more than the body that is left behind. So this one is telling us that this break would be valid, okay? Or if it breaks halfway, then we can also know that this break will be valid. So what are we going to do next? We buy from this point, and then we take our profit at the nearest support or resistance, because look at what happened here. You see that immediately price started moving up. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to take our profit at the nearest support or resistance point. So if we are buying from here, what are we going to do? We are going to put our SL somewhere here, because when you move to the lower time frame, this is also a support level. So our SL will be below, a little below that low, then our take profit to be at the nearest support or resistance. So we can take our profit here, we can also take our profit around this area. Once you have a good risk to reward, that is all, you are good to go. Or you can also take profit around this high, because our buy opportunity is valid from this point. The best thing you can also do is to be breaking even, or taking partials rather. I don't really like breaking even, so taking partials, let me put it like that. Now let's delete this and then see the reaction of price. All right, so you can take your profit at the nearest support or resistance. You can take one here, you can take another one here, you can take another one here, and then you can take the last one here. So you see, because we've confirmed our breakout with this candlestick, you can see that price is playing out nicely. And like I said, your SL should be below the next candle that is formed, or the next support. When you move to the lower time frame, you realize that this place is also a support, so your SL should be below the support, because you can see that price came back into that same zone before moving up again. Anything can happen, so you should know how to adjust your SL and take profit. So you see what happened here nicely, our take profit is being triggered. So guys, that is what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of this, because I have a lot of secrets I use in trading this market, and you wouldn't get it anywhere like this one, you wouldn't get it anywhere on YouTube apart from this channel. So if you want to see more of this, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and also leave a comment below. Like I always say, I love reading comments. You can also share this channel with your friends and families to also tap from this knowledge. See you in the next video, and peace out.